What's up guys, today I'm going to be showing you my Halloween inspired build that I like to call Spooktacular Moze. So without further ado, let's jump into it. So guys, as you see, this build can do a lot of damage. It can take out Grave Ward even faster than that. It's dependent on your micromines that can spawn from a Minesweeper. But anyways, I decided to release this build because I wanted to release a Halloween inspired Moze build. And although it might be a little bit redundant at this point because everyone else has released Halloween builds, I still wanted to put this one out. It's actually very similar to my Blitzkrieg Moze, if you guys have seen it, and if not, you should maybe check out the video. It's actually pretty good. I also realized that the 4th skill trees are coming out pretty soon, November 10th, and that there will be new metas and everything, and builds can change drastically when that happens. But let's get into this real quick. Without boring you guys, I won't go through every single skill. I will say that I am using a blue capstone and a red capstone build. The main reason I'm using the red capstone is I just decided to pick it up because I was going for 5 out of 5 in Phalanx Doctrine. Phalanx Doctrine is a skill that will increase your gun damage and your maximum shield size for 30 seconds upon kill, and there's no stack limit, so it can get pretty ridiculous. I will say that I also picked up a couple in the green tree, so if you guys just want to take a second and look through these trees yourself, you are more than welcome, but I'll just flip through them real quick. You guys can take a picture or a screenshot if you so choose and go check out the skills for yourself. But I figure by now most people do understand all the skills in the game, so nothing should be too new here. Okay, so we're going to be moving on to gear. Now, this build, like I said, is very similar to my Blitzkrieg Moze build, but instead of focusing on splash damage, we're kind of focusing more on the Halloween annoyance, such as melee attacks have a 25% chance to apply terror to yourself. This is a great way for Moze to get terror, because the other one is on action skill end, and as of right now, and even when Iron Cub comes out, action skill end is just not that great of a anointment for Moze, so you're going to be wanting to use the melee can provide terror with the face puncher. Now we're focused on using the Vindicator Gas Call grenade, which if you guys don't know what Vindicator Gas Call is, it's a special grenade you can get from the Halloween event, and there's only a couple more days, so if you want to get this grenade, go and farm it now. But pretty much when you throw it, it'll split into 2 skulls. The skulls will explode, causing rifts that shoot out heat-seeking skulls. Each one of those will do splash damage. They're also grenade damage. Now the main thing is when you apply terror to yourself, instead of this getting 2 or 3 skulls to pop out of these rifts, you will start seeing dozens. I think like 32 or something can come from a single rift if you kill an enemy while terrified. Now every single one of those skulls, as I said, will do splash damage, and it's kind of a little ridiculous. So to complement the Vindicator, we are using a Flesh Melter. It does not have to be a Victory Rush, but mine is a Victory Rush, mainly because killing with an enemy with a corrosive effect will increase your damage with corrosive for a short duration. It will max out at 150% corrosive damage, which, since we're trying to mainly use corrosive between the Vindicator and my Flipper, actually is corrosive and incendiary. This provides a lot of damage for them. I also have the stat rolls of grenade damage, AoE damage, and corrosive damage. Every single one of those plays a huge factor in the Vindicator's damage because it not only is a grenade, it does splash, and it's a corrosive based grenade, so you're exponentially increasing its damage. I'm also, at the moment, the kill that you've seen on Grave Ward, I was using a Minesweeper, which has splash damage, splash radius, and grenade damage. Again, all synergizing extremely well with the Vindicator. I would recommend only using the Minesweeper for bossing. If you're running around in the world and using it, getting those crit kills on random enemies, you tend to blow yourself up quite a bit with micromines, and even so you can be being shot from any and everywhere. So I like to use a bloodletter when I'm running around in the world and not bossing but mobbing, and my bloodletter does have splash and grenade damage on it. The health regen is nice, this to keep your shield constantly going up, but it's only 352. If you can find something else that you like in it, maybe like splash radius or any elemental damage or whatever, that'd be good. But use the bloodletter for mobbing and use the minesweeper for bossing. Unless you're doing the Malawan takedown, I would recommend this running the whole thing with the bloodletter. That way in the Wotan fight, you have better survivability than just with a minesweeper. As for the shield though, you can pretty much use whatever shield you want. I would just say go with one that has the Terror Anoints, and this one in specific has health regen. The reason I'm using that is because of the fact I got a Minesweeper on, and then this provides a little bit more survivability. But good alternatives, I have an Old God right here that has the anoint of enemy bullets have a chance to reflect off you. The more terror you have, the higher the bonus. That's really well, and I also have a plus ultra with that same effect. If you use a plus ultra and the bloodletter, you can kind of get your shield to be ridiculous, and what I mean by that is that you can get it in like the 300,000 to 400,000 range, maybe even higher, depending on how many points you have into Redline. And yeah, Redline, it'll give you more shield but take away from your health. But Redline allows us to use a flipper or any other gun. I just highly recommend the flipper to use the URAD Anoint. And the URAD Anoint is, while under 50% health, deal 150% bonus radiation damage. Now, that applies to everything. So with the Faulty Star, when enemies shoot you and they take that explosion, that nova around them, it'll get boosted by 150% radiation. Same thing with the Vindicator gas call on the initial explosion, and then every single other skull that comes out. And then obviously when you shoot, or when you proc micromines, URAD will also take effect, and that gives you a lot of extra damage. And if people didn't know, radiation right now in the game is one of the strongest elements you can use. The explosion that it can cause when you kill an enemy, it does massive AoE damage to people, and since we're focused on AoE and splash damage, it can get a little ridiculous. So that's pretty much the build, guys. But you can kind of customize it however you want when it comes to the weapons and the shield. I would just say go with these terror anointments. Use a URAD because that's going to really help out your Vindicator gas call. And this kind of stay away from the explosions because you can down yourself with this. But if you down yourself, you have so much power in damage that you can just stand back up instantly if there's anyone around you. I would say pick up to the last. That way you can throw grenades while in fight for your life, and that comes in real handy, a lot more than what people give it credit. The augments in the gun on Iron Bear don't really matter too much. I don't use Iron Bear with this build too often. Every now and again I do, but normally I try to just play as Moze, not an Iron Bear. I can't wait for the Iron Cub to come out. But if you guys like this, please give it a thumbs up, and if you like the material I put out, that would be helpful if you thumbs up those too. If you feel like subscribing, you can. You don't have to. That's entirely your call. But with all that being said, happy hunting, and I hope you guys have a very spooky and amazing Halloween. Take it easy. See you next time.